In ancient texts largely forgotten by the modern world lies one of the most fascinating accounts of celestial realms ever recorded. The Book of Enoch, particularly the section known as To Enoch or the Slavonic Enoch, tells the extraordinary tale of a man who walked with angels and witnessed the very architecture of creation itself. Enoch was the seventh patriarch in the line of Adam, the great-grandfather of Noah, and one of only two people in biblical accounts said to have been taken directly to heaven without experiencing death. But what makes Enoch's story truly remarkable is not just that he ascended to heaven, but what he witnessed and recorded during his journey through what he described as 10 distinct celestial realms. Today we're going to explore Enoch's extraordinary journey through these 10 heavens, from the first realm of atmospheric wonders to the 10th heaven where he beheld what no mortal eye was meant to see, the very face of God. The account begins with Enoch alone in his house, resting upon his bed, when suddenly two magnificent beings appeared before him. These weren't ordinary visitors. They were angels whose appearance defied human comprehension, faces shining like the sun, eyes blazing like burning light, fire coming forth from their lips, and wings brighter than gold. Standing at the head of his bed, they called him by name. Enoch awoke. His face changed with terror at the sight of these celestial beings. But they comforted him, saying, "Have courage, Enoch, do not fear. The eternal God has sent us to you, and today you shall ascend with us into heaven." They instructed him to tell his household what they should do in his absence, adding that no one should seek him until the Lord returned him to them. Enoch quickly obeyed, summoned his sons Methuselah, Regem, and Gaidad, and informed them of the marvels the angels had told him. After bidding farewell to his family, the angels took Enoch onto their wings and bore him upward into the heavens. The first heaven. The angels first brought Enoch to what he called the first heaven, placing him on the clouds. Here he looked upward and beheld the ether, the upper sky, the very boundary where Earth's atmosphere gives way to the cosmic expanse. This transitional zone marked the beginning of Enoch's journey beyond the mundane world, the first step in his celestial ascension. From this elevated vantage point, Enoch witnessed a sea vaster than any earthly ocean, a celestial expanse that dwarfed the waters of our planet. This cosmic sea wasn't merely decorative. It served as the foundation for the heavenly realms above it, a boundary between the earthly and the divine. The immensity of this sea would have been overwhelming for a human observer, stretching beyond what the mind could comprehend. Yet Enoch was granted the capacity to behold it in its entirety. In this realm, Enoch was introduced to the elders and rulers of the stellar orders, the cosmic administrators who maintain the celestial machinery of creation. These weren't mere functionaries, but beings of great wisdom and antiquity, entrusted with the governance of the stars. Their countenance would have reflected their elevated status, their eyes containing the light of cosmic knowledge accumulated over eons of faithful service. Enoch was shown 200 angels who rule the stars and direct their services to the heavens. These beings possessed magnificent wings that enabled them to traverse the cosmic expanse with a speed and grace unimaginable to humans. They would fly in formation around the celestial bodies, guiding their movements and ensuring their proper function within the grand cosmic design. These angels weren't merely observers, but active participants in the ongoing work of creation, their influence extending throughout the visible universe. Looking downward from this vantage point, Enoch beheld the treasure houses of snow, vast celestial storerooms containing winter's bounty. These weren't ordinary structures, but magnificent repositories beyond human architecture's capabilities. Perhaps they appeared as crystalline palaces, their walls fashioned from the purest ice, glittering with an inner light that cast prismatic reflections across the celestial landscape. Within these treasure houses, snow in all its varieties would be catalogued and stored, from the lightest powder to the heaviest blizzard conditions, each type maintained in perfect preservation until needed. Guarding these meteorological treasure houses were angels of particular countenance, stern yet beautiful beings whose appearance suggested the awesome power of winter storms. These angelic guardians would have possessed a certain severity befitting their responsibility, for the release of snow in improper measures or times could bring devastation rather than blessing to the world below. Their wings might have resembled frost patterns, their voices carrying the subtle whisper of snowfall. Enoch witnessed the clouds from which snow emerges and into which it returns. These weren't ordinary clouds, but the very matrices from which all earthly precipitation is formed. They would have pulsed with a living energy, drawing moisture upward from the earthly realm, processing it through divine alchemy, and preparing it for its ordained purpose in the world below. The clouds moved in complex patterns, directed by angelic intelligence, their formations reflecting the cosmic order that governs all creation. Additionally, Enoch was shown the treasure house of dew, which appeared like olive oil, with the essence of all Earth's flowers combined. This celestial repository would have been markedly different from the snow treasuries, warmer, more vibrant with color, its contents flowing with a golden-green luminescence. The dew stored here wasn't merely water, but a sublime distillation containing life-giving properties, enriched with the essence of every flowering plant that grows on earth. This heavenly dew was the substance that refreshes the world each morning, bringing vitality and sustenance to plants and creatures in the hours before dawn. Many angels guarded these treasure houses, responsible for opening and closing them according to divine timing. These weren't arbitrary decisions but carefully calculated releases based on the needs of the earth and its inhabitants. Some angels would have been record keepers, noting which regions required moisture and which had received their allotment. Others would have been distributors, carefully measuring the precious substances before their release. Still others would have been replenishers, gathering the raw materials from which new stores would be produced. All worked in perfect harmony, their duties complementing one another in a magnificent display of celestial efficiency. This heavenly ecosystem operated in perfect synchronization with the earth below, the angels monitoring conditions across the globe to determine when and where to release snow, dew, and other forms of precipitation. Their work directly impacted human agriculture, animal migrations, and the general welfare of all terrestrial life, though most humans remained oblivious to these celestial benefactors who ensured the regular rhythms of weather upon which all earthly existence depends. The first heaven therefore represents the atmospheric heaven, the realm where weather patterns are governed, where clouds, snow, and dew are carefully managed by angelic beings according to divine command. It is the interface between the material world and the more rarefied spiritual realms that lie beyond, a place where physical phenomena are generated through spiritual agency. The angels here serve as the custodians of Earth's meteorological systems, ensuring that these fundamental processes continue without interruption or imbalance. Throughout his observation of the first heaven, Enoch would have been awestruck by the perfect organization and purposefulness of everything he witnessed. Here was proof that nothing in creation happens by chance. Not a single snowflake falls nor a drop of dew forms without divine intention and angelic implementation. This revelation alone would have transformed his understanding of the world, revealing the hidden spiritual architecture behind even the most commonplace natural phenomena.